I'm John Miglosh for the Wisconsin DMA and the International Society for Strategic Marketing. On the way to work today, I was uh, I was listening to the radio, and apparently Esquire did a feature story on a teen boy from West Bend, Wisconsin, and everybody's up in arms because he's a white kid, who's just trying to get through high school. And he led this New York reporter around like on a safari to deepest Africa. That was Wisconsin. That's what people think of Wisconsin. We watched Incredibles 2 the other night, and there's all these new heroes that you've never heard of before, new supers, and and one of them they ask, "Well, where are you from?" And he says, "Wisconsin." It's like Wisconsin's a running joke in the media. I think it is, and it's okay. We like it. We like that it is. But I can tell you, Wisconsin DMA is the best place to find out about direct marketing. Okay, so I promised Angelic, that I would talk about her article today. So I hope she's tuning in. This was a fascinating article to me because the so much of the hype these days is about artificial intelligence and all that's about. And what she was saying was that the combination of algorithms and retail is irresistible. By matching supply and demand as closely as possible, they learn about our preferences, shopping behaviors, and predict what we'll like. And I've pointed out over and over and over that isn't, they're not necessarily, not only are they not necessarily doing that well, but they may never get any good at it. Because I don't know what I'm going to like tomorrow or the next day or whatever. But the point is that they are doing it, and they're trying and trying and trying to do it better, which, is commendable, I suppose, better than doing it worse. But it's just, how well is it working? It's hard to say. So I'm learning all of these options, and hide the chat. I don't want to hide the chat. I want the chat up. So now I got the chat all ready to go. Give me some hearts. I need hearts. Anyway, so she argues that the more we use algorithms to make our decisions, the less brand loyalty we'll develop. I think that is very profound. That's a really profound truth here. The modern test of brand strength is its resistance to the algorithm. And she turns to Amazon a little bit, and she says, if your product is nothing more than something that's easy to predict, then you really have nothing to offer once that brand gets knocked off by Amazon. Okay? Amazon won't help you differentiate. And she ties it to what I talked about yesterday, how digital media ate itself. She says, what happened was we thought that if we generated content that was just okay content, that somehow the media, the Googles and the Facebooks would let us play nice together. And just this week, Google came out, I think it was Google or Facebook, maybe it's Facebook, and said, we're not in the, our business is not to support publishers, that are spinning out content. Just, that's not our business model. No, the business model of Facebook is to direct your content and to direct you to advertisers. That's their business, right? And so the same is true with product. That's happened. We've seen it happen in digital media carnage. I love that. Digital media carnage. Right. And Anna argues that this is the same thing going on, is that we're trying to trick the algorithms into benefiting our products. But what we really need to do is get away from the algorithms. We need to figure out a way to talk to our customers and be real. I love that stuff. Okay. A recent New York magazine said how much of the internet is fake. And they were saying that 60% of web traffic, only 60% is human. Now, see, when I started on the web, You just built a site, right? And then Lycos and um, DuckDuckGo, I think, was another one. But Lycos mainly just went out and captured all of the title pages. And so then you could start to find pages that had material you were interested in. And this was before it was mainly, but this was before people were commercializing it. But then what happened was if you put, like I own whitetail.com. I haven't done much with it in the last few years. But for a while we put whitetail, 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 whitetail in the metadata. You couldn't see it, but the search engines could see it, and then that would give them a lot of traffic. And then when Google came along, what I did was I put in a lot of content from other people, especially young people, and I would leave those links static, unlike the dynamic pages of today, so that the young people would put links on their site or their social media back to my content with them in it. It was like a vanity publishing thing. And so I was ranked number 1 on Google for a long time for the word whitetail. And it's a pretty tough word now these days. But, so we've been playing these games for a long time. This was back in the 90s. You don't know this stuff. You're too young. But what she's saying is that we've got to, retail algorithms are mostly incremental improvements on the traditional retail model, where the core user activity is product purchase. But I saw an article and I talked about it where the people desperately want to connect with purpose and connect and identify with their outerwear. This is Lands' End. It has no logo on it. I can't imagine. I think I got cheated because I really want Lands on there. It's a Wisconsin company, but oh well. Anyway, so when you take away like this Stitch Fit, their motto basically, or their pitch is save time, look great. But it doesn't have the force that Patagonia has. So anyway, people want to make this connection. But here's the problem. The problem is that this article, the other article, not this one, advocated hiring lots of bots, programmed robots, to do chat interactions so that every customer could interact with you in the chat and try to fool them into thinking it's a person. What have you got against people? Why don't you just hire some people? You could have more fun in the chats. Look at what Southwest did with their flight attendants. Let them have some fun. Let them read some crazy stuff. It's not that hard to get people involved, and people are immensely creative. What an idea. Or hire bots and try to fool your customers. And then it'll be some big scandal on Twitter, and you'll be out of business. Okay, so I like this article. Teach them how to fight. What was best about it was great team. We aren't great team workers. I've never been happy on a team. That's why I lettered in golf and did well in sailing and downhill skiing. They're not really team sports. I wasn't a team sports guy. I couldn't stand it. No one wanted to work hard enough to my standards. Anyway, so I admit that. But for breakthrough results, everybody thinks getting the team to be calm and be harmonious is the key to good results. No. The studies say that for breakthrough results, fighting is the recipe. Innovation and excellence need one ingredient: the best ideas. Why I've always enjoyed being a consultant is I come in, raise a big cloud of dust, and ride off into the sunset. I don't have to be part of the team. I can be the bad guy. And, CEOs like me that way. And sometimes people get fired, and it doesn't bother me as much as it probably should. Great team leaders know how to turn conflict into performance. And then there's some tips for this. I highly recommend this article, Teach Them How to Fight. Let's see who wrote the thing. By Thomas Barta. Highly recommended. It's a great place to start. And he's also got references, which I love when somebody has references. But one more really important thing is you have to have some diversity. Don't just hire people who think like you. Bone up, man up, You can handle it. and then make a decision, but don't forget to be funny, which we remember here. Okay, every day at 10, the world's only live stream marketing news show daily. The only one. So subscribe on Periscope and tell your friends.